Hello, it's Laura Davallo here with another interactive card tutorial. This time I made a little slider card with two moving elements using images from the new adorable Yuzu Pampered Pups stamp set. I started off camera by adhering two pieces of patterned papers from the Sand, Surf and Sky paper pad with pieces of tape and running them through my die cutting machine with the largest dies from the A2 stitched rectangle stacks at Die-namics. After stamping the sentiment from the before mentioned set, I can adhere my panel to a sturdier one cut out of Blue Beyond cardstock with liquid glue. Next, I'm trying to find the perfect placement for all of my images. There isn't a whole lot of room on an A2 card base, so I had to leave out some of them like the mirror. I partially stamped the corgi twice to separate his head from his body, and now I'm just going to finish the cut with my scissors. There we go. I couldn't find my pull tab slider Die-namics set, so I used one of the dies from the money card Die-namics to cut mine. Here I'm centering it to make sure that I'm also placing the bathtub in the middle. Next, I'll trace the outline of it with a pencil so that I can cut a hole to hide the puppy behind it. This card would have been so much easier to make and the movement would have been a lot better if I had just cut a little channel in my panel or if I had made a separate floor panel and adhered the bathtub to it. But I guess my brain doesn't work well in the heat. Also, making mistakes is a great way to learn, although I'm not sure if that applies to teaching as well. Anyway, once I've worked out where the corgi's head will be, I can draw a little dot to later punch a hole there. 3/8 of an inches would be ideal, but you can manage with 1/4 of an inch, which is what I used if you have the same sized foam dots. Here I'm finishing the semicircular hole that will be hidden by the bathtub. Okay, so my money card pull tab is 4¼ inches long because I lengthened it with the partial die cutting technique. I was just going to stack two of these together when I had the genius idea of inserting a strip of acetate between them. There actually was an idea behind it, but it doesn't make sense to get into that now. If you're creating this card while watching the tutorial, please skip this step. I ended up cutting the acetate strip later, since we won't be needing it today. Next, I'm creating a couple of colors out of thin paper. I'm gluing them to the back of the main panel to make the pull tab slide straight. In a moment you'll see me panic and get rid of the lower one because I was afraid of limiting the movement of the corgi's head, but please keep it. It's very difficult to add again later. Here you can see all of the dies included in the money card Die-namics set. I'm going to use this strip with a curved end to make the corgi's head move, but I need to make it sturdy by stacking two of them with glue. Off camera I cut a second same-sized blue panel and now I'm holding them together so that I can make a little hole for the brad. I'm also gonna punch a hole in one end of the strip so that I can link it to the panel. There we go. Now we just need to insert the brad and open the prongs. I put a piece of cardstock in between so that they wouldn't be too tight. In order to link this piece to the pull tab and make it rotate, we need to add a vertical color. Mine is 1/7 of an inch or 4.8 centimeters long and about 1/4 of an inch wide. I'm adding a little glue to each end, but you could also use strips of score tape. I ran out of foam tape, so I made my own with a piece of fun foam and a sheet of score tape. The first strip will stop us from pushing the pull tab too far, and now I'll just add strips to the four sides of the panel. The truth is I could have added all of the foam tape to the back of just one of the panels, but why make it simple? Today is just that kind of a day. Please pay attention now. I'm pushing the end of the linkage through the white vertical color, and now we can align the two panels and get rid of the backing of the tape. To me, it's always easier to do while holding them vertically. I was struggling with my 1/4 of an inch hole, so I decided to make it slightly larger with the tip of my scissors. After that, it was easier to adhere this foam dot with the hole in the center. If you don't have any, you could adhere tiny slivers of foam tape around the brad. Now we can attach the Corgi's head and see if it moves. And it does. I adhered the body off camera with some liquid glue. Okay, here you can clearly see that the acetate strip with the little puppy wasn't working out. It was catching on the edge of the hole. So I made the opening even bigger and adhered 2 foam dots to the pull tab. I also trimmed the puppy's body, and although you can see the top of its head in the starting position of the pull tab, at least it works. Off camera, I somehow managed to add a second collar to the pull tab so that it could slide perfectly straight again. After adhering the bathtub in its place, I just need to attach the panel to the A2 card base and add the little poodle and hearts. In my mind, the poodle and Corgi are the proud parents of the little Corgi Poo puppy. That's it for today. Thank you very much for stopping by. As always, you'll find all of the info in the description box. Have a great day. Hasta la próxima.